Hello, hello. So today we're going to talk about overprotection. Overprotection is a very, very delicate balance. How much is too much? How much is abandoning? And how much is overprotecting? It is a very difficult and delicate balance. If with regular children, what we call the standard, or neurotypical, as we like to call them, is difficult to let go. It is much, much more difficult to let go of a child with special needs. So I'm going to tell you a story, then what I learned from it, and the strategies that I now use to help me navigate this part. That is very, very difficult, probably one of the most difficult parts that I had to do. Okay, so in my house, obviously, my son's father would really, really demand a lot of him. And I thought that he was just too demanding. I didn't like the way he would handle him and just demanding it. And then obviously we would have arguments like, well, it's because you overprotect him. Well, it's because you know he cannot do it. Come on, you got to consider this. So it was very, very hard. So then I decided to take it in the academic route. So I found a specialist and they gave him a test, very expensive test, mind you. And so, but this test was more like his abilities because I wanted to see how I would be able to enhance his special gifts. And, what would be too much exaggeration in the demanding part or in the overprotecting part. So I went and of course, like I said, very expensive, but I was, sometimes you think that the more money you spend, the better it will be. It's not always the case. But so I went with the pilot psychiatrist and with my tests, and I told him, okay, well, here, I really would like to know how much is too much demanding and too much just overprotecting, plainly spoiling, right? How much is too much? So he just took the pages, he browsed through them, made some notes, gave it back to me. No, this is it. So yeah. So tell me, how will I know? How will I know what is too much? When will I know not to stop demanding of him? He said, just be demanding. If he cannot do it, he just won't do it. But you will never know what he's capable of doing if you never demand anything of him. Wow. And I'm going to say that again. Because he did repeat it to me, and I was like, it's obvious to me now, but you will never know what he is capable of doing if you don't demand anything of him. Very important lesson. Very, very important lesson. And, sometimes it's still difficult to let him go. I mean, it was hard to let him go in school. He had a shadow helper, the shadow teacher that we call it. And well, no, this was in kindergarten, and that gave me peace of mind. I had in Mexico, I had to pay it myself, but it was very. It gave me peace of mind, and the school demanded of me too, because the parents will sometimes complain because of the things that he would do. Sometimes he did not control. He wasn't potty trained at age 4 and things like that. So that created a problem. So I wanted to make sure that the parents were okay, that the teacher would have enough time to pay attention to the other children and pay attention to him. And also, I wanted to make sure that he would be able to follow. And so, and of course, peace of mind. So, yes, I decided to pay. And then the second year, the teacher, kinder teacher, told me, you know what? We don't need a shadow anymore. No. What? No. I mean, he's doing things. He's listening. He's following directions. And it just, I mean, the shadow is really not doing anything. You don't need to pay anymore. And it was like, but I want to pay. I'd rather pay because it gave me peace of mind. And I mean, in every aspect, I mean, how would I leave him there alone? What if he just elopes, as he liked to do? So, no, he's going to be okay. That was hard. I mean, even though it was nice that they have to pay in the financial part, but it was very, very hard for me to just let him be there. And then, of course, all the therapies and I mean, I always made very, very good connections with the therapist. And at some point, one of the therapists said, you know what? Let's try that you are not here. I go, yeah, I think it's going to be better if you go outside and you wait for us. Yeah, that was hard. Of course, this is very, very important, and I emphasize this. You gotta if the therapist, okay? And it was a suggestion. It was a suggestion. So I said, okay, let's try it. And okay, well, yeah, go take a walk. You need a walk and go have a coffee, something like that. I was like, okay. Oh my God. I left crying. It was very, very difficult. But sure enough, he did well. And in fact, he did better. So these are the moments when, as we said, if I don't demand of him, we're not going to know what he can do. And, with a regular kid, sometimes it's just easier to do it ourselves than to be waiting. And, by the time it's done, I know it's very, very difficult. But what do I do now? Well, here's the strategies that I use. Remember, here we give you emotional and spiritual strategies. And I am going to give you spiritual strategies here. So, he has a guardian angel. And sometimes I think that we underestimate the power and the job of the guardian angel. We believe that he has a guardian angel, as I do, and Saint Pius will say that the angels talk to each other. So why not? So I tell him he has his guardian angel. I remind him of that constantly. And in fact, his name is Raphael. So he has an archangel taking care of him. So I tell him, talk to him. Tell him what you feel. Tell him what you need. And sorry about this. Okay, sorry about that. So tell him what you need. It's and then of course, so he talks to him, and I tell my guardian angel to go talk to his guardian angel because they're messengers. They are meant that's their job. And we were giving a guardian angel, and sometimes we forget about that. So I always give him a blessing. He doesn't leave the house without my blessing, and he knows that that's protection. And little by little, sometimes he can do things, sometimes he cannot, and we'll just try it again. And 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But that's the way things are. And he just needs to know that I trust him and that he's never alone. Okay, so that's the strategy that I would like for you to share today. And remember, you are not alone. God loves you. Blessings all of us. Remember, give it a like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Thank you.